Let's look a little deeper at the top story of the day. Hong Kong reeling from yesterday's violent clashes, where a police officer fired a live round at a protester at point-blank range.
A video uploaded by the Hong Kong University's student union shows an uninterrupted take of the events that led up to the incident itself and the aftermath.
We break down the incident into 4 distinct phases. The video starts with a group of protesters moving forward cautiously. Many are wearing helmets and masks. They're carrying umbrellas, poles, and at least one of them is holding a hammer. Initially, they move slowly around the corner of a building. It appears they are looking for something or someone. Phase 2 begins when the protesters' target comes into view. It's a police officer wearing riot gear. He's carrying a large shield. He is alone at this point. The situation quickly escalates as the protesters rush towards him. The police officer is running backwards, and moments later he trips and falls to the ground. The protesters surround the police officer and beat him. Phase 3, other police officers charge in. A protester carrying a blue shield attempts to attack an officer. That officer then shoots him with his revolver at point-blank range. The start of Phase 4 is marked by protesters dispersing quickly. A protester in a yellow helmet attempts to help the protester who was shot. He is immediately tackled. We then see a Molotov cocktail thrown at the police officers. In a separate video, one of the first that appeared online about this incident, the shot protester is seen bleeding around his chest. He says his chest is hurting and he needs to go to the hospital.
Earlier we spoke with Stephen Cutler, a former FBI agent who's now based in Manila, where he advises on security and law enforcement. And he shared his views about the shooting incident in Hong Kong.
A video and even a series of videos only shows us so much. And I say that because one of the critical parts of the equation that we need to take into is what the police officials at the time were seeing, what they heard, and the totality of the circumstances. So in that, we saw a lot of rocks being thrown. Frankly, those hurt, even with the riot gear on, the helmets and the pads and so on. And the police officer who was on the ground had already lost his shield. He still had his helmet and so on. But with the use of hammers, the metal rods, and other things to beat him with, the police officers who came to his rescue were rightly concerned, I think, that he was facing some very serious injuries if they didn't take some kind of very drastic measures. So we saw early on in the video that there is what appears to be some tear gas. It's difficult to see it, but it's there. And could they have used any kind of their rubber bullets or anything? I don't know. I don't really think so at that time. They felt that there was a serious threat to lives. And even the United Nations Office of High Commissioner since 1990 has said that police officers have a right to defend themselves or others against death or serious injury. And I think I can see in this particular case, there's a violent mob outnumbering them, and they're facing some serious injury. Anytime you use firearms, it is considered deadly force. I've seen people shot in the leg or shot in the arms who have died from those kinds of wounds because they may break an artery. The person could bleed to death.